Good Tuesday morning, and thanks for joining us from the Ohio AgNet Voice You Know with the News You Trust studio, sponsored by Grain Equipment Company, where innovation meets execution. I'm Dusty Sonnenberg. Well, right now we've got 69 degrees on the barn thermometer. It is cloudy. It is muggy outside. We had a few rain showers pop up overnight, but to put it succinctly, it feels like late July. A couple quick calendar reminders. Dale will be broadcasting midday today at the Ohio Soybean Hometown Tour. That takes place at Cargill in Sydney. The Hometown Tour starts with breakfast this morning at 7:30, and the program runs till 11:45. Visit soyohio.org/hometown tour. Also listen Thursday as Dale will be broadcasting from the Ohio State Fair Market Hog Show, courtesy of Kalmbach Feeds. The Ohio Crop Progress Report weekly update is sponsored by Agri Spray Drones, empowering rural America through complete spray drone solutions. Contact us at agrispraydrones.com/Arnold Precision. Well, it's no surprise heat and dryness are causing crop stress. The most recent U.S. Drought Monitor report showed 70% of the state of Ohio as abnormally dry or worse. Conditions matching the moderate drought rating were observed in 69.2% of the state, and conditions matching the severe drought rating were observed at 9.9%. Topsoil moisture conditions were rated 14% very short, 48% short, 36% adequate, and 2% were surplus. Statewide, the average temperature for the week ending July 28th was 72.5 degrees. That's 0.7 degrees below normal, and weather stations recorded an average of just 0.46 inches of precipitation. Now, farmers reported crops under irrigation did look good. Crop silking progress reached 81%, and dough progress reached 25%. 83% of soybeans were at or past blooming, and pod set progress reached 46% of the crop. Corn condition was rated 66% good to excellent, while soybean condition was rated at 63% good to excellent. Now, oat progress advanced to 97% of the oats headed, 85% mature, and 54% have been harvested. Oats were in a very good condition with 90% of the crop rated good to excellent, and second cutting alfalfa and other dry hay were at 96% and 73% complete respectively. Actually, third cuttings of alfalfa and other dry hay are now at 22% and 11% completed. Pasture and range conditions were also rated 38% good to excellent. It was reported that fruit harvest remains slightly ahead of schedule, and vegetables continue to be harvested in the state of Ohio. Again, this Ohio Crop Progress Report is sponsored by Agri Spray Drones. Taking a look at the national numbers for the weekly crop progress, corn silking right now is at 77%. That's just 1 point above the 5-year average of 76%. Corn in the dough stage is at 30%. Again, that's ahead of the 5-year average, which was 22%. And corn conditions are rated good to excellent, 52 and 16% respectively, or combined, that's 68% of the corn in the country rated good to excellent. If we move down to soybeans blooming right now, we're at 77%. That's ahead of the 5-year average of 74%. When it comes to setting pods, we find 44% of that crop setting pods, again ahead of the 5-year average, which was 40%. And the conditions of soybeans, when we look at good to excellent, we find that it's 54% good, 13% excellent, or 67% total good to excellent, and some of that dealing with the dry weather we found in many areas causing stress on some of those crops. If we take a look at what's going on with winter wheat and winter wheat harvest, we are 82% complete nationwide with the winter wheat harvest. That is just above the 80% that we would normally see. And in Ohio, one of the crops that is, we're in the top 9 in the country is oats. And if we take a look at oats right now, harvested, we find that Ohio is at 54% of the oats harvested. A statewide average is 60 at this point, but nationwide it's only 35% harvested, and nationwide 66% of the oat crop condition is rated good to excellent. Let's take a look now at a humid Tuesday weather forecast brought to us by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance, online at seedconsultants.com.
Our muggy week continues in Ohio. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin. Let's take a look at your forecast update. Getting started on your Tuesday here with some lingering showers and thunderstorms. It looks to me, though, like those will kind of break up later this afternoon, and we should be dry overnight tonight through a large chunk of tomorrow before we see a refiring of a shower and thunderstorm action for tomorrow overnight through Wednesday, or rather Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It looks like moisture is going to hang out for a bit, probably another 1/2 to 1.5 inches at least through the rest of this week. And I'm actually putting more moisture in for Saturday now. We probably don't get rid of moisture completely until we get into Sunday morning. So, yes, definitely a damp week. The humidity makes it feel even worse, and it's not going anywhere. Temperatures are going to be quite warm, but honestly, I guess it'd be worse if we were looking at mid-90-degree temperature readings with this humidity. But we'd also be looking at more strong thunderstorm activity. Right now, this is more garden variety the way I see it. Temperatures hold through mid to late week next week before easing back a bit. I think we are precipitation free for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday of next week. Wednesday, Thursday, showers and storms come back in with a slow, sagging front. That's the one that may bring us that relief on temperatures. That's a look at your forecast update. I'm meteorologist Ryan Martin.
Thanks, Ryan. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more after this.
Hey, Ohio! Don't miss the Ohio State Fair July 24th through August 4th.
With fair favorites like the Butter Cow sculpture, livestock animals,
Endless shopping,
delicious fair food,
free live music, thrilling rides and games,
competitions, and so much more.
Enjoy all that the Ohio State Fair has to offer now through Sunday, August 4th.
Tickets on sale at the gate or at ohiostatefair.com.
Hey, Ohio, exciting news coming to you from Ohio's Country Journal. Subscribe or renew your free subscription by September 20th of 2024, and you could win one of 4 50-inch televisions. Ohio's Country Journal is free, but subscribers have to renew their subscriptions every 3 years to continue to receive it. Subscribe or renew to stay updated on all things Ohio, from agricultural insights to rural lifestyle. Don't miss out. Visit our website today at ocj.com/renew. Well, the EPA and Endangered Species Act making agricultural headlines as last Thursday the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency announced the release of its draft insecticide strategy. That's available now for public comment for 60 days, and that document outlines the EPA plans to protect threatened and endangered species and their critical habitats from insecticides. That moves the agency closer to meeting its obligation under the Endangered Species Act. Now, ensuring the safe use of insecticides is a critical part of the EPA's mission to protect endangered species and the environment, said the Deputy Assistant Administrator for Pesticide Programs at the EPA. This draft strategy is another major step in the administration's efforts to protect endangered species, support farmers and other insecticide users, and provide critical environmental protections for our communities across the country. Now, this draft strategy actually identifies protections the EPA will consider when it registers a new insecticide or reevaluates an existing one. In developing this plan, the EPA identified protections to address potential impacts for more than 850 species listed by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. It is the second such strategy following the July 2023 release of its draft herbicide strategy. Now, in Thursday's EPA announcement, the agency stated that the draft insecticide strategy is part of its ongoing effort to develop a more efficient, effective, and protective multi-chemical, multi-species approach to meeting its endangered species obligations. The EPA focused the draft strategy on conventional insecticides used in agriculture in the lower 48 states, where approximately 34 million pounds of insecticide are applied each year. The draft identifies protections earlier in the pesticide review process, thus creating a far more efficient approach to evaluate and protect the Fish and Wildlife Service listed species that live near these agricultural areas, the agency stated. The EPA noted that the draft insecticide strategy incorporates lessons learned from that draft herbicide strategy. In other agricultural news, the renewable fuel standard exemptions are making headlines. A federal appeals court vacated the Biden administration reversal of small refinery exemptions to renewable fuel standards in a judgment handed down on Friday of last week. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit sealed its opinion in the case for 7 days, but issued a 2-page judgment and appears to side with refining companies, so the number of exemptions affected is unclear at this point. Back in April of 2022, the EPA revoked 36 small refinery exemptions granted by the Trump administration for the 2018 compliance year. In June of 2022, the EPA announced the denial of 69 exemptions requested. In April of 22, however, the EPA offered most refineries an alternative way to comply with the renewable fuel standard that would not require the companies to make up the 1.4 billion gallons of biofuels or compliance credits originally exempted, and there were 32 cases filed against the the EPA on the Biden administration's decision and consolidated by the court in one group, while 6 other cases were consolidated into a second. Now, in a joint statement following the court's ruling, the Renewable Fuels Association, Growth Energy, and the American Coalition for Ethanol, all of whom intervened on the EPA's behalf in the litigation, said they were disappointed in the ruling. We're extremely disappointed in today's decision to vacate and remand the EPA's denial of dozens of small refinery exemption petitions, that group said. The EPA's decision in 2022 to deny the petitions was well-reasoned, based on sound economic analysis and consistent with both the Clean Air Act and objectives in the Renewable Fuel Standard. We will evaluate our next steps, which may include seeking further review of today's decision. Our coalition remains resolute and committed to protecting and defending the proper implementation of the Renewable Fuel Standard. Now, in the second group of cases, the court said in its judgment it dismissed petitions filed by Growth Energy and Wynnewood Refining Company and denied a petition filed by Sinclair Wyoming Refining Company. The second group of lawsuits challenged the EPA's alternative compliance option given to small refiners. The appeals court action is the latest in a long drama that's played out across multiple administrations. Now, in December of 2021, the Biden EPA released a proposal to reject all pending exemption requests. The Trump administration approved more than 80 small refinery exemption requests. Stay tuned. We'll be back to take a look at your markets after this. Attention farmers, join us this summer for the Ohio Soybean Hometown Tour. Come learn about the policy, agronomic, and checkoff-related issues that impact your business. See the latest artificial intelligence technology in action, or learn how specialty markets can be worth your while even while prices are up. CCAs, CPAGs, CPSSs, and CPSCs who attend are eligible to receive 1 CEU of credit. Hometown tour dates and locations are August the 6th at Arable Research Lab in Delaware County, August 7th at the Bridgewater Dairy in Williams County, and August 14th at Beck's Hybrids facility in Madison County. Visit soyohio.org to learn more. It's time now for your morning Louis Dreyfus grain analysis, brought to you by the Ohio Soybean Council and your soybean checkoff. Let's check in with Ryan Martin.
What a day to start off the week in the marketplace. We started with follow-through from last Friday's washout and debacle, and we were down sharply as we went through the morning hours. At midday, we had pared those losses a little bit, but still, the stories are significant. The Board of Trade did bounce into the green on wheat at midday yesterday and through the afternoon. Corn got there as we moved into the afternoon, just ahead of the close. Beans came off the losses, but we did not get into the green there. Still near double-digit losses on beans moving through most of the curve. One of the big things that helped yesterday was the USDA's export inspections report. They were well above the pace needed to reach the WASDE goals overall. However, the liquidation of the August futures in soybeans dragged soybeans, soybean oil, and even wheat lower to new contract lows. Wheat and back-end soy oil futures bounced through the end of the day. The Russian FOB wheat numbers did not get much better through the day, but we did see other stories in the wheat and corn market factoring into what we were seeing happen through the day. Brokers estimate that managed money sold about 2,600 contracts of corn, 8,900 contracts of beans, bought 4,200 contracts of wheat yesterday. There were no daily sales announcements in corn, beans, or wheat products yesterday. However, we are hearing that China maybe purchased about 3 to 4 cargoes of Argentina's soybeans for September delivery and is now sniffing back in the U.S. for offers out of the U.S. Gulf for October and November. They're back sniffing, well, because we beat this market up a good 50 cents over the past several trading sessions. Low prices generally cure low prices. Argentina dropped its export tax on meats, and over the weekend, the rumors have the government looking to drop the tax by 10% on soybeans and soy products as well to appease farmers by mid-August. The 10% tax break would be for a short period of time to push farmers to sell stored soybeans. The French wheat harvest has been stalled by cool, wet weather that started back into late last week. Yields are below expectations. Test weights are not reaching milling thresholds. I'm Ryan Martin.
Thanks, Ryan. Let's take a look now at your overnight trade brought to us by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com. September corn is trading down 3/4 penny at $3.95 1/2 cents. December new crop corn down 1 1/4 penny, $4.11. Soybeans for August are trading 2 3/4 cents lower at $10.52, and November new crop beans are down 5 1/4 at $10.34 1/4 cent. Wheat for September is trading down 3 3/4 cents at $5.27 1/4 cent. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dusty Sonnenberg, and you're listening to the Ohio AgNet.